come free with the duck and an eagle shooting the breeze. From paintball fields to campfire fun, you know the rowdy talk's just begun. Now kick up your feet and pour a glass. We're about to have a blast. We're the rowdy ones. We're the rowdy ones. The rowdy ones.
Welcome back to the Rowdy Ones. Couldn't be happier tonight than to have Keith Brown as our guest. You know, he's been an athletic phenom and one of the best aggressive players in the league for coming on 2 decades now. Someone who I haven't shared the field with on a main team, but, you know, I've always had respect for and, you know, had fun battles against you. So I appreciate you taking the time out of this. I think you have an interesting story, you know, kind of cut your teeth in Florida, played on some of the best teams in the world, and won everywhere you've really gone, but really spent, you had a family, a team the entire time, and you've been through the ups and downs with that one organization. And from where you started as a kid to where you are now, like those are your dreams coming true. So I think you have an awesome story. And, you know, for as fiery as you can get on the field, off the field, and even still on the field, you have one of the best smiles in the game. And, you know, it makes me happy every time I get to see you and, you know, give a little embrace. So appreciate you coming on tonight and spending some time with us.
Appreciate you, Ryan. I'm glad to be here. And, you know, like I had to hit you up, bro, because, you know, somebody mentioned your name and I go, I got to do my podcast with Ryan like immediately. So I'm glad we got to do it, bro. Let's get it.
Yeah, I am too. You know, everyone's busy, so these aren't a priority for me. Like life is a priority for all of us first. And, you know, I enjoy making these because I think it's cool, you know, just having conversations with my friends and allowing, you know, the outside world that looks up to us and wants to follow in our footsteps, you know, did get a little bit of an insight look, you know, of our conversations, because this isn't like a question and answer podcast as much as it's just, you know, shooting the shit, seeing how it goes and getting inside, you know, your minds.
Right.
So
yes, sir.
Yeah. And
I don't know if you're very aware, but, you know, Hal's been with us on Heat, helping in the pits and doing our Instagram page, which he's been slacking on lately. So I've been meaning to talk to him about that.
Oh,
but, hey, you got to call it as it is. You got to call it as it is.
He's just become, you know, one of my best friends, and it's been awesome doing this with him. But I don't think you two know each other very well. So
no, I don't think we've ever actually formally met. Obviously, see each other around, and you know me, Ryan. I kind of stay in my lane behind the nets and just say hi and just, you know,
do your thing.
It's got to eat him up too, because Hal's a talker. Don't let him trick you.
He's not lying. With that great introduction, and thank you so much, Keith, for giving us the time. We greatly appreciate it. Also, this is episode 50 for us. So
okay,
yeah,
nice.
So, dude. We're chipping along.
That's right.
Chipping away, baby. But
so, I think you have I just think Keith has a unique story in a couple ways. One, that he's been able to stay at the top of his game, playing a front position, and, you know, relying on his athleticism, growing into his brain on the field, and then, you know, really utilizing both with one organization, winning across eras with that one organization is very cool. But outside from that, like I said, like being able to stay that aggressive one and set the pace, and see, you know, generations and generations of front players come and go. It's unique to be able to do that. So I think more than anything, that takes a mentality to get your body ready for doing that constantly and vigorously over time.
That's right.
But also the mentality of, you know, just that like fearless, you know, competitive edge that just kind of burns deep in you. And that's one thing you can't teach in people. And that's why when you see certain people come and you think they're going to have better careers than they end up having, I think it's that missing little edge. And players have that edge in different ways. Like, you know, your teammate now, Mouse, has it, and there's no denying that. But his way and your way of doing it are completely different. So it's not about like emulating one style. It's about being your authentic self and like,
that's right,
how much desire you have for that. But if you could, you know, speak on that or.
Well, I will say, Ryan, I mean, you've been doing it even longer than I have, and you're a damn one, and you can't be stopped. So that's one thing to say. But you're right, and you have to be yourself, because you've been yourself your entire career, and you've made it in different ways. Like we've made it. Me and Mouse have kind of been similar as far as like this whole like crazy workouts. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't even say it's like crazy as far as what we're doing. We just do it a lot and we're consistent. That's right. That's all. That's all it is. Like people are like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "A jump rope and a little bit of, you know what I mean? Wait,
Yeah.
you know, like nothing too
Staying loose, keeping my body moving.
That's right. More or
you.
less now. I'm focused on flexibility and mobility. You know what I mean? Making
and that's something that can extend your career so much longer. Like and Mouse lifts weights and stuff more. And I know I'm not one to preach on any of this. You know, if
I was gonna say,
honest. But I will say like staying active and allowing your body to have those movements is what staves off injury, and injuries are what cut career short.
That's
you know,
right.
You're bound to get injuries, but if your body's used to recovering, you'll recover from them faster. If you don't baby it after, and if you can get that out of your mind, you can stay pushing your body. Like for me, like, you know, I sit weird. I still sit like a kid, like with my legs up on a chair, or like I'll still hop over something when I see it. And like I have people ask all the time, and they're like, why do you still do that? It's like, well, when I stop doing that, I think I'll stop being able to, you know?
True,
like,
true.
Yeah, dude. You hear people in their 30s or people you went to high school with and talk about like, oh, when was the last time you like actually sprinted? Right. Like and it's
good.
Like, most adults don't, though. They don't ever exert themselves to the limit. Right. So I don't spend the time in the gym that you guys do. I respect players that can. I do what I have to do to keep my body where I feel it needs to be. I think there's a limit where you can like overstress and overstrain it. And I think paintball relies on different things. It relies on instant explosiveness.
Right.
And it relies, your burst speed. And then it really comes down to your mental decision making to allow yourself.
That's 100.
But that speed off that first step off of the box, you know, that first step between bunkers, those are huge in my opinion, right?
Right.
So you want to build up your explosiveness and you want to be limber so you don't get injured. But after that, like, I don't think you need to be very strong to carry a couple pound gun.
Right.
I grew up like you did playing, 2 25-minute halves, then 2 20-minute halves, and playing the majority of the points then, right? Running back and forth and back and forth. Now we're playing a 15-minute game with a team playing in between us.
Right.
What are we playing? 16 points at a day most?
Yeah, it's definitely cut down.
Like at a practice, you might play 50 points.
Yeah, that's right.
So you only have to do so much for it. So you want to make sure that you're using your time and energy to do the right things. And that for everyone, that's different. It's one thing I talked to Marcelo about before, because me and him kind of argued what people needed and what not. And I think he's finally coming around to seeing that different people need different things. You know, you have your Michael Jordans, but then, you also have your Dennis Rodman, who needed to party a little bit before he went out.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's not a right way for anyone, because like obviously Jordan did what he needed to do to be the best ever.
Or look at John Daly.
Rodman wouldn't have been around if he
look at John Daly. He played some of his best golf smashed out of his mind. Like, I mean, just
it's true though.
Everybody has to have something different, and I think that's what's great about paintball. It's not a one format thing. It is this thing where each individual can craft and tune their own way to do it.
But Daly was always sharp, though, man. It was style that let him golf well.
I wouldn't want to see him golf sober, though.
Yeah, it's not worth it to him.
No,
at this point.
He beat Tiger Woods, and he told this story, and it was hilarious. I'll try and find it and send it to y'all. But he was like, "Dude, I didn't have any sleep. Came to the course after partying. He goes, I was smashed." He goes, and I beat Tiger that day. And I was like, good gosh, I couldn't imagine.
Just no sleep, just drink, just boozed up. Yeah. Kind of the move.
So I do want to ask you, I like to know people's motivation. Like, what is the drive behind each individual? Because that's the other thing that's different about this sport. The motivation and drive can be totally something different. Obviously, there is, you want to be the best, you want to win. But what else is that inside of you that you think is unique to you that's adds to your drive?
I guess it's just overall the love for the game. Like I do respect it, and I see it as what it is, but I want it to be bigger. So I want to keep performing in a certain way to like kind of give that. I want to like set the bar. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
there's a certain level that like I wish people that from the outside would, like the people that go, oh, I don't know if I want to go pro or some stuff like
Yeah.
that,
Mhm.
and they kind of limit themselves a little early.
Mhm.
But I want them to be able to see that there is potential in like what the sport does have to give. So like that's why I keep doing it, because I believe that like there's more that we can like start to get from this
Yes.
as players to kind of make people want to stick around, because that's like the ultimate goal. Like I'm not gonna lie, I got into like a couple arguments about this, and like people go like, well, why do we care about the pros? And I'm like, well, hold on one second. I don't think you understand, but I may not pay for this. Like personally, like it may not come from my pocket, but somebody is still paying for this.
Mhm.
And technically, I've been around longer than anybody else. So technically, I've been still bringing money to you guys.
Mhm.
You know what I mean by that? Like I've literally, like we're still bringing money in.
And how many sports do you care about and not care about the pro side?
That's right.
Yeah, 100%.
That's
I mean,
right.
'cause
That's a
the thing about-
100%.
I mean, the thing about sports is, perfecting a craft. So you want to be able to watch the highest level of anything. Like, like I watch the Olympics, sports I would never care about, because I love watching the best of the
Elites.
best good at that, right? Like,
Yeah, right.
It's huge because you're watching a simplified game. All these games we play are simplified, right?
Yep.
But you're watching a simplified game being performed against other people that have dedicated their lives to it and have pushed the envelope of what's possible and have, evolved the game itself, compete against themselves, like their equals, and to see who comes out on top. And
Right.
that's the story that makes
Yes.
sports so magical. Like, underdogs beating, like you look at the fights on Sunday,
That's right, though. You're
was
so
insane.
right. Yeah,
And-
man.
And I don't care if I go outside of a bar, if I watch two guys slug it out like that for a little bit, like that's a great story and I'm pumped about it. But
Right.
But doesn't give me the same goosebumps as,
No, it's-
America beating Russia in the Olympics in the 70s. Like there's moments in sports that are so special that if there wasn't the pro side, and like you said, like we do bring in money in our unique ways, including, being, tools for owners to build programs out of, right?
Correct.
And people to bring in money from outside the sport to put into the sport. Money that some people look at as like us taking, but the money that wouldn't be there without that side.
Mhm.
Like,
Right.
Like we're in some ways, in all the best ways, a toy to a rich owner. And that goes for an NFL team too, to a player making $50 million a year. He has an owner that wanted to, have this group of men and have a feeling of unity in something so much that when it succeeds, they feel success, and to brag against their friends and
Right.
play against them, right? Like that's what's special about sports to me.
Well,
And that's why the pro side of it matters. It's paramount.
It is.
Well, when someone is willing to pay someone, especially an athlete, that person sees the worth and sees what could become of them. So they feel like it's just to transfer the money that they've worked for to give to them. So that has something to be said. And you said something about watching the elites do it, right? When you go to the Olympics, that's not just a pro. That's a freaking elite. Besides the one chick that from Australia that was breakdancing.
Yeah, what was she doing out there?
Well, but I will say she got in there somehow, right? But
yeah,
you know,
she knew the people on the committee that did it. It was like her husband.
She just walked
my
on. She actually
goodness.
just walked on.
she's like, I'm not even here. I didn't qualify, but I know some people. No, but the great thing about watching that is when you watch someone and you're like, oh, that doesn't look hard. Look at curling. I've done curling. We have it up here in the wintertime. I've done that. And I was like, you just scrubbing a broom on the ice and chucking a
It
piece
goes.
of stone. And I was like, good Lord. I was like, there's nothing easy about this.
Well, it's
And
not hard to do. It's just hard to do well.
It doesn't matter. What I'm saying is like, what I'm saying is if someone makes it look that easy and you're watching it and you're like, oh, I could do that, I guarantee you they're getting paid for a reason.
Yeah, that's right.
Because they make it look easy.
I do
It's
want
like
to touch
y'all-
on one thing that Keith said, because you had mentioned, like, you know, wanting to do it to open the doors for more players that might leave the sport without that. And I agree completely. It's so important to, you know, grow what we're doing and make, you know, leaps and bounds over generations so that it can become what we've seen in the potential the whole time. But I will say most of the people that I think leave don't have that it thing that we were talking about a lot of the times.
That's true.
Because you have to be willing to make sacrifices if you really care about something enough to dedicate every ounce of your energy into being your best. And anyone who's willing or doesn't see the value in it for it, anyone who will only do it for the money and not for the sacrifices and the benefits of, you know, just succeeding in it or competing in it for a lot of people's whole careers, you know, like we've been both on, you know, a lot of winning teams and won a lot, but there's players that never even sniff a win and they still sacrifice all that. Right.
Very
and as long
true.
as they were the best that they could be, that's not failure. That's, you know, willing to risk it and competing against the best in the world and holding your own and, you know, getting your wins and lasting in that. So I do think it's good to have more people up there, more elite athletes we can have in the sport, the better, in my opinion. Yes. But it's that mental no quit attitude, the you know, we could be down 7 points and I still think I can beat you. I know maybe the time's out and I still want to go out that last time to hurt you if I can't beat you, right? Like that different attitude is what separates the greats from, like, you know, people that can dictate the way a sport goes, which is what I see you as someone who wants to do, you know?
Absolutely.
I do want to ask you, did you ever have the moment of aha, like the light bulb clicked and you're like, I'm going to go pro with this? Or did it just happen?
Early on, I mean, I was so close for a pretty decent amount of time. It's crazy, but I always mess with Joey and I'm like, dude, you cut me. In 2008, I think it was, I was supposed to be on Damage's semi-pro team, D1 at the time. And
was it 09 that you went to Damage and played for the whole time, or
2010?
No, you played for him when you didn't play against us on Philly. Okay, so I started against you when I was on Impact then.
Yep.
Long time ago, mixed wires.
Yeah, bro. And it's crazy because I only made it in for the last event of 2010. Wow. But I was like very close and we practiced them all the time. So I knew that my chance was gonna happen at some point. I didn't think it would happen when it did. I kind of just got the call up.
That's so I've known why I thought it was like my last year in Philly, but apparently it was like, you know, first year on Impacts going into the second year when you were a full-time Damage player. But who were you playing with before then? Where's it? The
Total Carnage with Jacob.
Carnage.
Yeah,
okay. I knew you and Jacob came up together, and
Jacob was on the team within the second event of 2010.
Okay,
and then I came on at the end, very last event.
Yeah, I remember. One thing that I always, you know, really respected about you is I didn't know who you were, and then you were on Damage, and I could tell you had something special because you had a very unique style that didn't necessarily, I'm not saying it did not fit with Damage, but it was clearly not just like a homegrown Damage style of player. You weren't playing within like a cookie cutter. You within there, like, oh, go here, do this, don't do this. Like you were out there thinking, and as a rookie coming in, that's so rare. I remember thinking that at that time, and I thought that was cool. And to see you, you know, still doing that at this level, you know, makes me proud, and I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah, they definitely just took the leash off. I mean, they were just like, just go get kills.
Yeah,
and that's why the craziest thing is, Ryan, when people are like, "Oh, you guys are playing Damage paintball," I'm like, "Did you watch the game? Like literally the point before I tried to run snake on the break and they shot me."
Yep. Yeah.
I'm like, what do you think I'm gonna do? Run the same shit again?
Yeah.
No. Like, that's what I'm like. That's what, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like even when we hear it, you know, like we would be like, bro, we're trying to run. What do you think? We're not trying to go. We want to be in the pocket, like getting shit
Yeah.
on. No.
But you guys do an X Factor, do a really good job of, playing
Controlling the
Well,
zones.
no, just playing the odds.
Yeah, true.
Like,
It is
not-
playing the
not-
odds.
Yeah, just not making a dumb move when you're
It's-
already up in the situation, right?
That's
Like,
right.
I think you guys take risks across the field to get field advantage.
That's
then
right.
you let the other team make one mistake, and
That's right.
then you swarm on it, right?
Yeah, it's
And
kind of just
that can look slow though when you're playing another team that's doing the same thing, an Impact, an X Factor, someone who's
Very
also,
true.
now you have two teams waiting for someone to make a mistake.
a mistake.
And then it ends up being, 5, 6, 7 minutes of a bunch of people could have done things, but everyone's now not really playing.
They're just a little stalemated.
And those are the points, and any good team has them nowadays, but those are the points where people like judge. But it's just like, well, you're right. Like if we both were going at each other, the game looks completely different, but you don't understand the reasonings why it's not happening. It's just
right.
in such a short game that then you can drag out a long point.
Well,
It's
that
just
is true too. Now that the game, like you were saying, is so much shorter, you almost can't even take that risk. Because what if you do go down by 2, you almost lose.
Well, you're pot committed to keep playing like that, and now you're one dimensional, because if you can play like that whenever you want, your odds of winning are probably like 70-30 those points, if I'm being honest. But if a team knows you're playing that flips.
It flips real bad.
It flips
real bad.
Probably 30-70, right? It's,
especially the way that the field layouts have been. It's definitely not as easy to just run down the field and.
Well, I think it is to an extent, but what makes it hard is that we used to play in a time when 5, bare minimum 3 people were looking to do that on each side of the field. And at times, depending on some of the best teams, all 5 people were looking to do that, right? So more opportunities presented itself.
Right.
Now you have people looking to not make mistakes, holding zones, playing really smarter paintball for the time frames we're in.
True.
Well,
for the time frames, right?
Yeah.
So I do have a question. Since y'all have played many different styles of fields, many different formats, as far as what they're doing now up in the middle, I feel like there's such a blockade right there. But would y'all ever want to see it go back to like something like smaller up the middle, like some temples or anything smaller, or do y'all like having it like that? Because y'all are both frontmen.
It's good and bad because sometimes it's like it's blocking a lot, but at the same time it blocks a lot of shots, which makes the game a little bit slower because you don't see anybody. Mm-hmm. You have a good point about being like there's a blockade, because if you get into like Ryan knows, he gets in a certain position, he's like, I still don't have anything.
And then it's like, well, I'm on their 40 or something.
I'm actually almost on their side, and
my next move, I have to go through a blind lane because there's
another big one, and the guy's not a fool, so he's actually posted on it now.
Yeah.
So yeah. I think if they used smaller stuff, the game would be faster because people would definitely get shot with the break more, though.
It would be faster. But I think we're diluting the game now because it's faster because you're creating 5-on-3 situations quickly, 4-on-2 situations.
Yeah.
So now are we really playing a game, or are we just flipping a bunch of coins and doing it, right? Like if we had long games, I wouldn't mind that. But I think that the skill level has gone up so far, it almost became a necessity. And I don't love it, right? Like I like other types of fields that are maybe more conducive for my play style sometimes. But people became so good at shooting off the break.
Yeah, man.
Like we used to run to the corners and be like, oh, it's this amount of percent. Yeah. Now we'll be practicing a short shot that you are literally hitting. Like you can walk to, and you're like, I have to take 2 fast steps, dive, hit the ground hard, and pull my legs across this way to maybe make it to a short bunker, right?
Yeah.
And if it's not with the lanes that they are the way now, like I also see the argument that if you start taking away, it just becomes, why are we playing a 3-on-3 tournament? Are we playing 1-on-1s? Like what's the point of it at that time? Yeah, I still like the ebbs and flows of a game. So even though they are slower sometimes, I like seeing a game get won because someone makes a decision and a good move and a risk that pays off over someone winning a breakout.
Winning multiple,
if it was like that every point, like right, like it's cool nowadays when you see it because we still see it with no lanes.
with no lanes,
I mean, you
right?
still shoot 3 people off the break sometime. That's cool.
True.
But what would the game be like if it was every point like that?
Smaller,
It wouldn't
yeah,
be
it would be kind of rough. It
We'd
like
be
you, it would be faster, but
80%
not
of
in the right ways.
But it would be
Exactly.
diluted, just like you said. It
Yeah.
would dilute the game
It's
because now
faster
you don't
because-
get. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
It's faster because people are dead, not because the best players are making the best moves at the right time.
Right. And I can agree with that. I just, you look at it how it used to be back in the day, Ryan, when you were on Philly. I feel like there was
We
a big
sucked back then. We were good against each other because we all sucked. But like the level of the game has raised so highly since then.
Yeah, and I understand. But it was like, I don't know. I guess maybe I'm just stuck on it because like, Dirter, push, like all that stuff it's just so good to sit back and watch that. But like also when I started playing, and it's funny, when y'all say 08, 09, 10, man, it takes me into such a different realm for me because of what I was doing at the time. And it was like, y'all were getting to go play paintball while I was doing something similar but way different. And it was,
Warhow. You can't just be around the bush all the time.
I can. It's my life. Anyways, but like going back to those films, you just look at everything and the bunkers and the shapes and like everything is different about them, and you love it because it's so iconic. It's nostalgic and like it's amazing. And I kind of wish we'd go back to a little bit of that. But like you said, the skill level has changed so much. Now it's a more methodical game, not just pure brute force, right? Like that's not what we're doing.
Things are nostalgic because they bring up certain memories,
feelings
inside your body, not because they were necessarily better.
I know. I'm big on nostalgia though.
Sure. I'm just saying, like
I understand.
As a front player, if they took that away, we're playing 20% of the points and we're getting shot off the break most of them.
That's fair. That's
fair.
Yeah. So I do want to ask you, Mr. K-Swag, what is like, did you ever, like you have a very unique play style. It's very yours. You own it and I like it. It's also something you love to watch, but hate when my boys are on the other side of the field because you're a minute.
You know that I love it when he's over there.
I know you love it, but I can hate it. I can hate it because I just have to watch it. I don't get to play it. But did you have like any influence to how you play? Did you just kind of find a niche one day for what you were doing and you were like, no, this is it?
I mean, my play style was kind of like Brian Smith and what's his name? Brandon Short.
Okay.
That's what
it's
I
funny
think.
you say them because they were so different. Even
they're different, but when
it is a good meld.
When I put those together, that's kind of like how I think I play. Like I'm able to like go down the field and make that first shot on you, but I'm able to also play that methodical wait and then counterpunch type of style as well.
It's nasty.
So,
no,
yeah,
that's pretty
you,
spot on,
you.
and that's not two players I would ever think about putting together for. But that's spot
yeah,
on.
but that's like
why your play style was so unique because
right
players were so opposite as front guys that
it
can't look like either one of them. It has to look like your own style to do both.
Right.
I'll tell you one thing, man. If I had to wear my pack the way you wear your pack, I couldn't be playing.
No way.
Sometimes
how do you wear it so high? Like how do you breathe?
Dude,
I have to because it moves so much. I don't know why.
Really?
Does it not bother you for breathing? Yeah.
I guess
I practically wear mine on my
laying,
almost as bad as rainy, but probably as low, just a little tighter is where I like it. You know?
Yeah, I have to wear my shit.
Yeah, sometimes you got yours like on like a brassiere.
On the
belly.
Damn, wearing a damn paintball brassiere out here.
Yeah, that's more out of necessity than where you like.
Yeah, I have to.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise it'll move around.
Yeah, I don't see.
And where did
you see a lot of snakes guys always spinning their packs around? I never have to.
Yeah, my pack's usually spun around. That's what happens.
And what I just want to know, with wearing it so high, when does something like that come about? Like to be like, oh, I've got to do this because that's
Oh, that's just where things naturally work into place, wherever.
Yeah, I
they
don't even think I
start.
even thought about it.
No,
I think
you don't
think it
think
just
about it
started
until someone
happening.
else says something about it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
people ask me, they're like, "Why you always wear your pack low?" And I'm looking around, I'm like, "Oh, geez, you guys do it
Oh.
here somewhere."
That's right.
Just put it on where it feels right.
You're like, I don't know. It's good now. It doesn't
Yeah.
move.
I can't breathe when it's on my tummy. That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. There's some times where it doesn't feel good though. It
I think
definitely
I've
doesn't.
broken my nose too many times, so I got like a little, I don't breathe.
He said, I don't need help.
It's pretty deviated, so sometimes if like things are like, I just feel gaggy sometimes, and that's how the pack makes.
He said, "Yeah, no, I get that.
That never affects you, so you look quick as hell still with it like that.
I make it work.
fast and nasty, man. Fast and nasty.
I make it work.
That's cool to see you and Mouse playing on the same team again too, because I think when you have someone else who wants to be, not just like one of the best, he wants to be the greatest ever. When you have people like that to push against each other, you raise each other's levels, and it's not like negative competition. You're so happy for each other because you want to make each other better. You want to make that person better, and that makes you better, and you want to show each other up because like you become friends with people, and it's like, oh, you think that's cool? Like, and then watch this. Like,
yeah, it's like competition.
Yeah, but it's like it's that fun kind of competition, not like
healthy.
One, like you don't want to see them fail in the competition because they didn't do well. You just want to do better than what they did.
Yeah.
Right. And that's like that breeds that breeds that winning edge. And you guys clearly have that back after, you guys had some struggling times, and then you guys were like so close for a while, and now like you guys are a dominant force again. So that's got to be a pretty cool feeling to stick it out through all that. I mean, I know you're a player that gets a ton of offers, and having CJ as an owner and being able to play for a guy that you respect and love so much is like, a great honor. Like I got to play for, Adam Gardner, Bart, and Sarge pretty much my entire career. Like it's helps so much playing for an owner like that. So happy that you have CJ to look out for you guys so that you guys can perform at the best. But it is awesome to see you guys back where you guys always thought you should be.
Yeah, we're pretty fortunate to have a guy like CJ. Marcelo will tell you every time, he's like, dude, why didn't I do this before? And I was like, I was telling you, bro. I mean, CJ's a good guy. We've actually been fortunate to have like you said, Bart is our other guy. Yeah. And I mean, dude, it doesn't really get too much better than that. So we're definitely lucky to have that. And having Mouse as a teammate it's amazing because he can give me that feedback as well. Like when something's happening, it's like when he's telling me something, I know for a fact this is what's happening. There's no beating around the bush, and I can go and execute. You know what I mean? And I can tell him feedback, and then he can go do his thing or like figure out how he wants to do it from there. Yeah. So it's a good 1-2 punch.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have so many legendary players on your team, but like for me, when you guys won Cup, the coolest thing for me was to see Jason win that MVP because he played on me since the All-Americans in like 2003, and we and him have been teammates for a long time, and I think sometimes he gets underrated, and he's always been so solid, too spectacular, and never pretty much anywhere else between those two to see people giving him that respect again just makes me happy because I see fans and just paintball patrons a lot of times discount people, whether it was Dynasty when they went on a couple-year losing streak or whoever. They discount people instantly. It's like, no, what we're doing is hard, and then as soon as someone wins again, it's like, oh, this person's the best, goat. It's like, right, talking shit for the last 6 years.
Jason deserves a little bit more credit than people definitely give him. He's insane, and he's one of the best leaders that you could have.
I mean, Damage wouldn't still be around if he didn't like hold it together and those for quite a few of those years. CJ put a lot of faith in him to run it, and kind of on a tight budget for a long time and to keep it going. And Jason did that because how much he cares and loves it. And obviously, I think buying CFP and turning it into Legends and like having that as his own field is is awesome.
Legacy.
Or whatever. You know,
Legacy.
I'm kind of retarded sometimes, but
It'd be happening.
Wait, Legacy, is it the Legacy that I went to?
yeah, down in Florida.
No, different
Oh,
Legacy.
No.
Different
But he's done such a good job at that field because I remember playing in that back.
Man, it's amazing right now.
And now it's such a phenomenal field to go to, but it just shows this passion inside and outside the nets.
That's
so
right.
We can finally get, the accolades on the highest stage. I mean, winning, World Cup MVP and, having some of those big moments. It made me, feel really special. So I'm sure you felt the same way. I mean, if you played with Jacob and some of your first teams coming in, and I'm sure coming from Florida, you looked up to Jason growing up, at least, even if you're not, trying to emulate people. I know you're very similar in my mindset of it's like you didn't put people on a pedestal because you always wanted to be better, but you still respected the.
Absolutely, he's a brother, man. He's a brother. Like he deserves it. He more than deserved it when he made Joe Barrett sit down on the ground. So
dude, that was like that was classic back there, dude.
That's I mean, it's still crazy.
Yeah.
You set the man on the ground. That's crazy. Jumping over a can is wild.
What region of Florida are you in?
Central Florida.
Central?
Orlando
area? Nice.
Mm-hmm.
We're about to make a trip out to Mexico Beach here in July. So,
where's Mexico Beach?
You know where Port St. Joe is?
I'm guessing
Apalachicola. Apalachicola. It's in the Panhandle.
Okay.
At the Horn. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. Yeah,
So,
I don't know too much about up there.
Nowhere near where.
Yeah, that's up there.
Yeah, it is.
That's a good 7 hours away. It's actually crazy how far away that actually is.
Yeah,
it doesn't look like it.
Florida is like Texas. It never seems as big as it is until you drive it.
Right.
And you're like, dear Lord.
Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah, unless you're just cutting across the skinny part, then it's not so bad.
It's not so bad.
Yeah,
if you're actually traveling it.
Yeah, it actually is far.
It's a beating.
Panhandle's far.
So you've obviously had a lot of wins in your career. What would your top 3 most special be, do you think?
I guess it would be all the World Cups.
No, that's fair. But everyone has different, ones. Like sometimes it could be their first win or this or that. So I just like hearing World Cups. That's an easy.
It's
easy
hard
answer.
to say like off the top of the head. I can't really Dover was pretty special. I'm not gonna lie, just because it was recent, but it was like one of those ones you feel like you needed more than ever because. Tampa was such it felt okay, but it was a disaster at the same time for us. Yeah. Went 2-2 and it felt gross. Right. You know what I mean? So to come and win the next event was like, Jesus Christ. All right. We are who we thought we are. Can we go back to doing that or what?
We'll see. You guys are so up and down always. We can't be beat. Oh, do we suck?
Yeah, I don't know what the hell happened. So we'll see.
I got nowhere to talk. We didn't even fucking win a game last event, so sometimes it's tough out there.
Sometimes it's tough out there, though. Sometimes it's tough.
On Sunday, when you showed up to Dover, sometimes you get little inklings of no, we're winning this thing. Like you just feel it to your bones. Did that ever happen, or was it just focus forward and we're gonna constantly just push, grind, and 1 point at a time?
I kind of knew in the 3-man because of the way that we were playing.
You guys I was dominating some 3-man action. Too.
Yeah, we played really, really good in 3-man. And I don't know because we don't. All right, we actually. This might be a bad thing. We started to practice it, so we might be fucked now.
Yeah, it's possible.
You know exactly what I mean. Now we might have messed up because we started practicing 3-man, so now we might be trash at 3-man, but. I think we just have good individuals, and people make, people just make great decisions as far as the little 3-man stuff goes. So they'll win their ones, and then it's kind of like a wrap.
One of the 3 to win their one. You should win it.
You should almost win it almost every single time. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of been our thing, and we've been shooting well on the break. So
I
You're shooting well on the break of the 3-man, and you're just crushing people.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
game over before.
Yeah.
Barely breaking a sweat out there.
Right.
Yeah, you guys you should have had the clean sweep in Dover though. The 3-man, the 5-man, and you should have won the East Coast All-Star game.
Oh yeah.
I call hard shenanigans on what happened there.
I do too. I do. We
Horrible shenanigans.
You guys did everything you could, So if we just go by pro points, it wasn't even close. So we'll just leave it at that.
It wasn't.
I want to get your input. How did you feel about, when everyone got to play the 3-man and their first prelim game inside the stadium? How was that?
I thought it was awesome. Amazing experience. It was a long day. I think that was one thing that like kind of hurt us for the last match though, was I wouldn't say that we were tired, but if you know what I mean, you know what I mean.
You were a little lackadaisical going into it.
Yep, Ryan, you know exactly what I mean, because you had all day to and we never really got like a break time.
No,
we went and did pictures and all this other stuff, and then next thing you know, we're eating for like an hour. We go back, and then we're at the field again.
Yeah, and you guys, hometown, it happened to hobnob a little bit.
Oh no, it was a lot.
Yeah.
So I mean, that was the only part that I was like, I wish we could have figured out a way to like separate it that day. It would have been better if we had 2 days, but
or if
it was definitely
2 Expo games in there and not the 3-man.
I'm good with that. I'm definitely good with that. Good with that.
I do think it was important that you noted, tired doesn't always mean just physically, because like your guys' comeback in that game, and it was one of the most entertaining games of the weekend, honestly. Your guys' comeback in there, you could clearly see it wasn't necessarily tired, but it's when you say tired, it's mentally, it's a little physically, it's making a bad decision early, one across the whole lineup, and then all of a sudden now you're playing on your heels and things just aren't going your way.
Yep. And you kind of have to get into like a rhythm, because it's definitely a different style. I mean, you're playing at night with a screen.
Yeah.
And like
all acts.
You do almost have to like adjust, because I know that's how it was for you guys, Ryan. I mean, you're like, wait, hold on, this guy like actually knows.
Yeah, like I guess X Factor that game, like they beat us whatever 4-2. They beat us handily that game, but like we were like 2 to 3 bodies on their 40s and 30s every point. It's like
you can't do anything.
And then you get to a spot and they just go, okay, tuck, 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 tuck. And I'd be playing both sides, and they get up, and I'd be like, you just couldn't. And then like I'd be looking at it, trying to screen.
And it was you on there.
I played enough Halo LAN parties in my life to be good at it. I played enough GoldenEye as a kid, and it's like, how's this 80% of my guys?
Yeah,
I don't want to see Andy or Chewie and the Snake. I want to look at them.
Yeah.
I want
That's
you
how
to
it works.
me TJ for 1 second here.
No.
It's like, oh, you're making a move inside into there for you. Okay, we'll show you.
Yeah, I actually had one time when I made a move into the 50, and as soon as I got there, I just started getting pre-fired over the top. I'm like, how? This guy, he doesn't know. There's no way.
Between that and how many?
You just have to get used to it, though. Once you got used to it, it was like okay, because it was like, all right, it is what it is.
At least it was there. You knew what it was happening. I played at a few other like small arenas, like in Kansas City.
True, you have done it before,
and it's like at least it's fair. I mean, half the teams use signals for when people get to spots, when they're walking off or when they're on the sideline, stuff like that. So that's it doesn't really get policed as much as it should, in my opinion. So people are going to do what they can to get away with things, but that's something that's not the same on both sides, right? That's them getting that same information without having to do any work. At least like if I was looking at the screen, I'm not actively looking at the field.
True.
So it's, you're in the same circumstances, and you can always, when you lose, it's always easier to complain about it. Or if both of our teams won that, we're like, oh, who cares about the screen?
Yeah, for sure. I'm sure the people that won don't care about the screen.
Nah, it's like beat those nerds without that. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
They still can't stop us.
It was a good time, though. It was definitely a good time.
For sure. I can't wait till one day when, we can be in a similar setting that's packed. you know, that has
True.
there, because like as cool as it was, and especially having it on the screen, seeing it on outside the stadium, you know, even walking into the stadium for the first time, like with your gear bag, it was a cool feeling. But as cool as it was, it's like, and it got busy on that one side for those night games.
It definitely did.
It
that
was
was
rowdy,
sick.
and that was sick. But like, just could you imagine like playing, you know, in front of 80,000 people surrounded
That'd be
on all
crazy.
sides? Like those are the kind of moments that, you know, we continue to build it for, to hopefully people in the future will be able to, and then they can all look back and try to wonder if we were good or not. But there's only some barely footage from here or there.
True. True.
That's how sports go, you know. Legends of one day are, you know, forgotten about the next, and that's okay because you got to enjoy it in the moment.
That's right.
So, since you've been around the block, what has been your like favorite format of paintball? Whether did you ever play 10-man? I'm sorry, I don't know this.
I don't really play 10-man.
Okay. So, as far as like 5-man style paintball, what has been your favorite format?
I like this format. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's probably the best. Is this X-ball-ish style? It's not true X-ball, because true X-ball was the two halves and all.
What would be
stuff.
your ideal style?
This is really good.
Total time.
I think this would be really good with no split deck. You know what I mean? And but you need more time. I mean, I'm talking about the perfect world, right? I'm not talking about like we have such
throw the schedule to the wind, right? Like what would your ideal be?
You know, it would be like something like this, maybe a little bit longer of a game, but it would be like this with 2 minutes in between, or a little bit less. You can even do a 1 minute and a half, but you just force teams to have more people, which is fine too. Right. I think that would be even better because you're creating more opportunities. But
if there's no split deck, give us 45 seconds in between.
You know exactly what I mean. And then now you got two teams, or you got
15-minute quarters.
Right.
Let drag some people into the deep end and see where.
I think it would be pretty cool. I think it would be pretty cool.
And
I would leave it almost the way it is. It's this athletic. The game is athletic. You know, like it's good. It's good.
Hell yeah.
I guess I'd like to pick your mind a little bit. I think you're one of the few front players that I respect their bounce shot game. You know, I always have to I'll get into spots and you guys do a really good job of finding them. But like I think most teams find them, and it's different to be present in the moment of when you get to certain spots to shoot them, to wait the other team gets to where you can shoot them out of to shoot it, you know, to let them get a little loose and shoot them. To find new ones when you don't have anything else to do, but like attempt that. And I don't see a lot of people do them, but you guys like I still remember this one in Atlantic City that you shot me on a couple years ago, you know, because it's like I was like kind of playing the inside of the Dorito side into this can that like no one ever played, and I would go there and just kind of mess people up from there. It was like on the other team side of the field, and I went there the very first time against you, and like instantly you shot like a bounce shot you knew about, hit me on it.
I don't even think I knew. I think I just saw you kind of go into the spot,
and that worked. Oh, perfect.
Yeah, like okay, let me just try to line something up. You know, you just gotta. I mean, paintball's so crazy. Stupidest bounce shots kind of work right now.
And I'd say 95% of the players do not attempt them.
True.
Like if I'm not battling someone and I have Van, like I'm in there somewhere that could potentially go in, shoot at it.
You might as well try to shoot at it. Yeah.
Well, if you didn't know that bounce shot existed, it was crazy because like you shot one stream at one spot and like all of them hit me. And then, like, I was like, okay. And then like I purposely went there again and like around to a different spot and you shot it again. So I was like, okay, he knows that. And we used it like, you know, the rest of the tournament against people. And that's, you know, sometimes you miss them, but like always attempting them, I think the effort, it all goes back to the effort.
Yep. I think you just kind of explore stuff. I mean, you're looking at stuff on paper, and like when you're walking the field, you're like, this might work, and you might as well throw some in there as long as you have paint. You know, like
the
limited paint does change it though. You can't just
kind of. You just can explore with a few less. You know?
A little bit less.
You can still do it.
You can still do it.
I think the difference is like people that are willing to explore thing in like pressure situations of actual tournament points as opposed to just in practice.
Right.
And it changes the whole game when it works, and then you realize it works, whether it's during the tournament or at practice. It could change your whole game and whole outcome of the tournament. You're like, I'm here, and it's going here, and no one else is doing it, and it can literally open up the whole freaking tournament for you.
Oh.
Those little nuances.
Well, for sure, because for one thing, it's demoralizing to get shot on bounce shots like that, especially when you're like up the field moving well and not doing something dumb and like battling into it. But for two, like it, makes you hesitant to go into that same spot,
That's
knowing
right.
that they're going to shoot it. So
They're gonna shoot it.
Yeah, so it does change the whole pace of the game by being, pretty well versed in them at least.
Right.
100%.
But I think certain teams, like I think probably you guys and the Russians do it the best.
The Russians are insane with it.
Yeah.
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 I'd say paintball fits next right
Yeah,
now. They're
for sure.
really good with shooting bounce shots and knowing like position wise where they should be.
I could be
They should be
wrong,
like
but like
that.
watching them do it, like the difference is like I can tell that theirs are all based on reps. So
Theirs
like,
is reps.
they
Yeah.
shoot the ones that they saw at their field, and like they continue to shoot it when it doesn't work at the tournament instead of making the adjustments, and that comes with age, and they're already phenomenal. So I'm sure they'll get better at that. But
They'll
when I'm
they'll
them,
figure it out.
it's
Yeah.
consistent to what like they had to have been doing exactly then. It's not exploratory. And
True. Yep.
But I would agree, top 3 for sure at it.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see how different teams can become successful. I mean, only a handful of teams win any decade, really.
Yeah. Period.
So to see that those handful can all do it in different ways, it shows you that there's no blueprint to do it. You have to make it your own, because if you're just copying someone else, you can only be second best. But if you're really, making your own style, you can be the best.
That's right. That's right. Well, I kind of want to. I want to be respectful of your time, and I know it's late where both of y'all are, but I do want to kind of ask you towards the end of the podcast. I always ask Ryan or the guest for life advice. Doesn't have to be paintball related. It can be anything related. I would just like to know, what is some life advice you could give to someone that is just listening to you speak?
I guess one of the things off the top of my head is, I mean, bro, I've been told that, what I've been doing is not worth my time, and it's never going to take me anywhere. And I've heard it from the closest people in my life to people who don't matter. And they were wrong, because I live pretty good and I'm extremely happy with everything that I've done. And if you feel the same way about something, you probably should pursue it that way, because it's kind of crazy, because I don't even think I really have like good advice like that. But right now, that's one thing that comes straight to mind. You know what I mean? And it resonates, and that's just where I am. And I'm chilling. I'm happy. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
That's all that matters.
I love paintball, and I love like the guys, you know what I mean? Like I told you, Ryan, your name popped up in a conversation I had while I was at the field, and I texted you immediately because I wanted to do this. You know what I mean? Because I love this sheet.
No,
you know what I mean? Like it's just awesome, bro.
Yeah, we will have to have you on sometime in the future where we just tell some fun stories.
There you go.
But yeah, definitely appreciate you having you on. And like I said, anytime I see you, it's brings joy in my heart, and I am truly happy for all your successes, man. And look forward to see what the future brings, and look forward to having a lot of good battles with you. So
that's right.
Well,
thank you, Ryan.
K-Swag, greatly appreciate you. Thank you for carving out time for us. I genuinely love hearing each individual stories and what the life info you said and dropped. It's funny. I'll be quick about it. It resonates with me so hard, and I feel the exact same way. Doesn't matter what anyone says. Do what your heart and mind tell you to do, and go full force. Because I was told by a work guidance counselor when I was in 8th grade, you do all these tests in school and stuff, and they say, hey, you should do this, you should do that. and I wanted to be a hunting and fishing guide. That's what I wanted to be. He said, that's not reality. He goes, you would be more suited as like working as a garbage truck driver and this and that. And I was like,
it's a brutal thing to tell.
Dude, so brutal.
Like, bro, all right, dude.
It's like, you know what's funny?
It's like, dude, you ended up as an 8th grade guidance counselor. Who are you to tell?
Dude, I know, right? Welcome to Texas. But no, what's funny is like I have 2,786 skydives. I have 763 base jumps. I've got I went pro in wakeboarding. Like, I ended up being a hunting guide. I ended up being a fishing guide, and I loved it so much. And I've just lived this full life doing all these different things because I took a chance and I did what my heart told me to do. And it's what y'all get to do now. And it's what you love and you're happy. And you know what? The end goal for me in life is not to be rich in money. It's to be rich in memories, in joy, in happiness. And that's the reality of life. Doesn't matter because you can't take money to the grave.
You can't.
But you'll die. You'll die with memories, though.
You got to remember, a lot of times when people give you this advice, it's not because it's out of any disdain. It's just because it's what they truly believe. It's society taught us, like, you have to do these things at these times, and this is the right way to
be happy,
be successful, and to be happy, and this is the only way to live. So when people see people doing something untraditional, it could be jealousy, but more often than not, it's concern, or it's just like, why aren't you doing this? Like, let's get you back into this, grouping. But man, there's so many ways to make it in this world, and we only have one life to live that we know of, so you might as well live it whatever way you want to.
Right.
Yeah. And I appreciate you saying that, because more people need to hear that. More people need to be motivated to be that and not be afraid to take chances and go do things that everyone else says not to do, because I would say most of the world does things that everyone tells them to do, and because they're scared to go against it.
Right.
And, I'm glad you've taken a chance in paintball. You're such an icon. You're amazing to watch on the field. You're a dirty player. Like, you're just nasty, dude. Like, it's amazing. And, you said you want to set the bar. You're definitely a foundation in paintball, just like Ryan is. And this sport needs people like y'all. So thank you for taking the chance and doing what you love.
Keith's got the best tan in the league too,
I'd be willing to give some away because this shit is way too,
I'll need some,
I'm pale as hell, dude. I need all the help I can get.
Too much, man.
But brother,
but I love you, and like I said, you're always welcome here. I'd love to just have you back to just tell some stories and stuff sometime now that you've been on. But I'll see you shortly. For about a week. About a week, I'll see you. If you can just stick on for a couple minutes after the outro plays, just to make sure it all uploads, I appreciate it.
Got you, brother. Of course.
And everybody watching, thank you for joining us for our 50th episode. Before we bounce, K-Swag, where can they find you at on gaming and social?
Just look for my Instagram, SwaggyK23, 2 G's. I'm always on there posting whatever.
Extra swag.
Whether it's extra swag, fitness, whatever we got, man. We got Lingo stuff coming out. Lingo's my company. We got some shirts.
Say, like, Ronnie's
that's awesome. So I've been slacking on the headbands, but we do got shirts coming soon, so we're gonna start there.
Let me know. I'll buy a shirt off you, man.
I appreciate 100%. You, brother. I
100%.
appreciate you guys.
With that being said, everyone, catch you in the next one.
Later.
Well, the whiskey's low and the story's all done, but we sure had ourselves some fun. From tall tales told to the last good pun, you've been rolling with the rowdy ones. Thanks for listening, y'all.